Yo guys, what's going on? Arasuji here, and I got a video for the new human players that are going to be playing this game. I know the game went on sale for the deluxe edition, and just in general, new players that are looking for some help to improve at the game and just have a better time surviving and having a good time. So, for those of you that are new to this game when it comes to playing human, or the players that have been playing a bit longer but still struggle to survive, get through this video and it's going to help you a lot. And for what it's worth, I'm about a level 170 and I have over 100 hours in the game. And I've been covering this game before it came out and I've been playing it basically up to this point and so on. So there's also information in here that's going to help you based on what the clowns are doing now because people know how to play at this point. And yeah, let's get into the deeper parts of the video. So starting off, it's going to be know when to be stealthy. Okay, so when you're not running around, you're not going to be making audio pings, so the clowns are going to have a harder time finding you if you're not running around. So make sure you take note of that, but you also need to know when it's appropriate to run around. So when there are multiple clowns around, you probably don't just want to sprint off and run somewhere because they may be able to find you and chase you. And it may be better to just wait for them to pass you by to continue doing your thing. And I think if you are going to run around, you got to be able to defend yourself. So maybe you have an air horn in your pocket so you know you can at least use that if things get a little dangerous. But you also need to keep in mind of like if the clowns are dead or not. If a clown is dead, then there's only two clowns on the board at max, and that's probably a good time to run around and do your thing. I would say you want to find a good balance of both, but I would say generally in this game, stealth isn't as important as it is in other games like TCM, for example. So don't be that guy that's sitting in a bush while your teams are dying in cocoons. Go ahead and take the risk. Okay, so for the next tip, I would say take note of the objectives and the items that are on the board. If you pass by a shotgun and you don't take it, be mindful of where it is. Additionally, if you know where the bunker is, keep mind of where that is, as well as the items that you can use to escape. And because if you know where the bunker is and you find the key card, you can drop the item near the bunker. Just know that when you do that, of course, it's possible that a other human could pick it up and use it for themselves. One thing that I do sometimes is if I find a gasoline tank, for example, and it's in kind of a hidden spot, I would pick it up and take it somewhere more visible. So that way, if my teammates wants to use it, it's kind of like in the middle of the road in a very obvious spot that can just be picked up and used for something else. And I just want to say that not every player is going to be friendly or on your team. So just because you're working with someone, it doesn't mean they want to help you escape. They may just take the boat and just straight up dip. They may just take the exit gate and just run across the thing just so they can get out. Okay, so in this bit, when it comes to fighting the clowns, just know that they can only be killed by sharp objects or bullets. So that's very important to know because if you don't have something like that, then the clown can keep recovering and they get full HP when they do that, by the way, and then they can just continue to chase you down. All right, and so now we're going to speak to the mini games. So as you know, you can play mini games in death, or if you already escaped to help out your humans that are still in the game playing. And what I'll say here is to make sure you're giving the players items that you feel like they need. If they're low HP, see if you can find a medkit or a burger. If they're being chased, see if you can get them a popsicle or energy drink. What you don't want to do is just keep dumping items in the inventory, especially if other players are giving them items as well. Because if they're full inventory, they're going to have to run back and pick up an item, and that may cause them death. But if you're dead yourself, you can also pocket that item, so in the case that you're revived, you will spawn with the item. Alright, so for the next piece of advice, which is important and simple, know when to run and know when to fight. You just have to understand that not every fight is worth fighting for, and it may be completely unnecessary. Okay, so a good time to run would be if there's two clowns approaching you. You could potentially kill them both, but it's not worth the risk, so you should probably just run and book it. Whereas a good time to fight would be if two humans are fighting a clown, that would probably be a good time for you to jump in there and fight, because if you don't, that clown may kill both of them. But if you stuck around and fight, you guys could have successfully killed the clown and escaped. Okay, so for the next thing, that's going to be revolved around the resurrection machine. And the resurrection machine will revive all dead players. I would just say the thing with this is look to use this when two or three humans are dead or more. Because it would be cool to revive five people, but competent clowns are going to start camping this because they know this is a way to get revived. So just be mindful of that. You kind of want to use this when it's not super obvious that you're going to do it. And if you have the information that a human is going to die right before you activate it, you can activate it and as someone dies, they'll be spawned right back in. Okay, so for the next thing, and this pertains to escaping. So when you're planning to escape, it is very important that you can get as many people out as possible if you can. Because with some of these objectives, only a certain amount of people can use it, and then once it's used, it cannot be used again. The best escape that you can use throughout the game, if you want to escape alone, would be the teleporter, because the teleporter will remain and it can be used again. And no matter what escape you're using, be sure to drop important items that can be used for other escapes or just weapons because your teammates can pick those up when you're leaving. Okay, so for the next thing, it's kind of a given, but it's important, and you need to land the skill checks when you're planning to escape and taking off the cotton candy that are on some of these objectives. This is the most alarming notification a clown can get when you're missing your objective skill checks. And it can completely ruin a plan and compromise everybody in the area because the clowns can teleport and basically jump to that location and potentially kill everybody there. When it comes to the human items, it's important that you don't use bullets and sharp objects to kill lackeys unless you absolutely have to, because those things are very scarce and they're your tool to kill the clowns. Yeah, so if you can, use a brick or a wrench or something like that. They are plentiful, and trust me, you'll thank yourself later. So when it comes to the clown items, they each have a ray gun of some sort, and the important thing there is to break line of sight so they can't see you, and that way you won't be put into a cocoon. However, if there are two clowns on you doing this, it's going to be practically really hard to escape, and they may just put you in a cocoon. But if you have a sharp object, you can break yourself out, although you can only use that one time because that item will break unless you have two sharp objects. So breaking line of sight and vaulting through a window is really important because clowns can't jump through windows and vault. So that'll help you in this situation. All right, and that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And let me know if you have any questions down below. I'm looking to answer every comment I get.